So I crashed. Can't guarantee how long I'll be online if it crashes again. But you know, it's almost like my computer hates streaming. It doesn't want to stream. Thank you. I don't know how long I'll be on. Stupid computer crashed again. This time it was something completely different. Something I had never seen before. Let me see if I can fix this picture. Yeah, maybe I'll shoot him a message. I'll see what he thinks. I know he's busy a lot, so that's good enough. Yeah, I never seen this error I apparently got before. And it's pretty frustrating. This clock watchdog timeout. And after looking it up, apparently that means that there's a thread on the processor that wasn't able to communicate properly with another thread on the processor. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but you know, you look up on these websites, it says it could be caused by a driver issue. So download our program and we'll and refresh your drivers. It'll fix it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's good about that. I've messaged him in the past, and he's asked my opinion on some things in the past, and he takes a lot of the creators' opinions in mind, which is cool. Because I know when it comes down to it, like it has to be whatever changes he makes has to be feasible to the creators because those are the people who are going to be adding to these things, you know. So when he adds in features, he has to be sure that those creators are willing to work on those features or that they're at least capable of it before he does it. Otherwise, it's could be a waste of time to put it in there if no one's going to do anything with it. But I got that error, and then the PC crashed again directly after that with a page fault or something. I don't remember, but that was a memory error or page file system error because of the crash in the first place. It had an issue with the page file. So I don't know what to do with this damn computer. Brand new computer. Brand new parts. Ran for 2 months, no problems. I start to try and stream on it, and every time I stream it crashes. I'm about to throw it out the window. Oh. Or sell it to someone who doesn't stream. Because apparently it runs perfect when when you're not streaming. So the problem is I don't think I can work on the fades, because if I work on the fades, then it crashes. I'm going to lose the work. I did turn on a couple of features in the BIOS. Was trying to get a virtual machine up to communicate with my server and put a virtual machine on there. But I didn't finish doing it, but I did turn on virtual service in the BIOS. Maybe that has something to do with it, because I know when you turn on virtual server in the BIOS, it will dedicate part of your processor and part of your RAM towards operating that. I don't think so. It's Streamlabs OBS. I mean, I don't know. It crashed the moment I opened my video editing software. Like, I clicked on the software and boom, crash. So, and it shouldn't be a problem with too many programs running, because it's a 9900K. I mean, this thing, I'm never going to utilize what this thing can do. So, that really shouldn't be an issue. When the streaming software is running, it runs, let's see, it's streaming at 22,000 kilobytes per second. 0 dropped frames, 60 frames per second at 1080p. Okay? And my processor's only using 20%. So I don't think it's the streaming software. I'd hate to have to set up a new one, but if I had to, I would. But I used OBS before, but not on this computer. So all computers are different. I'm not going to say it can't be the software, because it very well could be, and that could have been a conflict. But I think I'm running. Let's see. I can't see around my mic stand. Turn that off. I don't know though. I mean, now I definitely think it's a computer issue. I mean, that's an error with the processor, but I never got that error before. It was always just kind of shutting down, and I attributed it to the power supply, which made sense. And now that I swapped the power supply with my server's power supply back there, and the server's crashing now, having the same issue. So it was definitely the power supply that was crashing it previously. This is something totally different. This is something that's happening that I don't know. I think let me see what it's using X264, so it's using the processor. There is a new encoder that uses the RTX firmware to clear up the video and stuff. But I tried it before and I was having some lag. But I also changed a few other things. I haven't tried it since, so maybe next time I'll stream, I'll switch it to that and see how it goes. I mean, I have a 2080 RTX. It's doing nothing right now. It's basically the fans are off right now. It's not doing a thing. So maybe I could switch to that and take the stress off the CPU. But like I said, I mean the CPU's not even stressed right now. So I don't know. I guess if I can do it, then why not? I may as well. It doesn't. It wouldn't hurt it to separate the load. But it's got. I know it's got these stupid lights, and I always have problems with the programs for the lights. And I thought it was that originally before crashing my PC, but it wasn't. But the Corsair for my keyboard, the Corsair Light app or whatever for making hotkeys and junk, that crashes constantly. It's always crashing. Yeah, they actually have a new one now too. They have that. I think it's starts with an M or something. And it's specifically for RTX cards. And they came out with a version 2 of it. The version 2 is for the RTX cards. I guess they're good for something now. Let me see about starting up a game or something. Gotta do something here. I almost want to stress I could use CPU Z, but oh my goodness, can I switch through any more here? Okay, here's the one. This desktop picture I use. Let me see, where's that? Here, I put the desktop on full screen. If you look over here, I got my daughter's face in there. Her name's Zelda. I put her little face on the Zelda character, and my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I see her." Oh. None of my other kids are named after video game characters, so I couldn't switch anymore. Anyways. I'm afraid to start up a game here. Ugh. So I was banned from EmuMovies, just so you know. Because apparently I do evil stuff. Somebody reported me, I guess. This is from what I understand. Somebody reported me for redistributing video snaps from EmuMovies on my, or EmuMovies or whatever, on my website, and redistributing media or something. I don't know, but yeah. Let's see. I go to the website and I get that right there. Get that nice little message. So the circle says that I was reported. And he said something like, "I recognize your name. Is it true? What's going on? What happened?" So I sent them an email letting them know that it's a little bit it's a little frustrating because I talked about somebody who was reposting my rocket launcher stuff, my fade screens that I made on the Hyperspin website, and an admin acknowledged it. I won't say who, but an admin acknowledged it, and they're still there. And this happened months ago. And those fade screens are still there that somebody else re-uploaded without my permission, and they don't even credit. So I agree. Oh wow, it's not even. It's not posting to me. Yeah, let me refresh it. All the messages. That's weird. But anyways, apparently I'm a crook. And you know, I've made videos in the past about um, people who steal media and how I feel about it. I took them down because I don't want all that drama on the channel. But I take a strong stance against people who take other people's media and don't credit them or don't acknowledge that it came from somewhere else, and they repost it or post links to it as if it was their own. And I had one guy actually claiming that it was his own, even though it was clearly my stuff. And you know, against anybody, not just me. And I don't attribute to that. Contribute to that rather. I don't condone it whatsoever. So to be accused of it is a little bit frustrating. So I don't know. But anyways, hopefully it gets cleared up. I mean, I just sent the reply email today, so I'll see how it goes. Alright, so I'm going to start a game here, and I'm going to play it for a little bit. If I crash, I apologize. And I probably won't be back because I'm going to punch a hole through the tempered glass on this computer. So we'll see how it goes there. We'll see if I return or not. I don't know why I keep returning to this game either. It's addicting, but it's also disappointing. But if it crashes, I mean, I hope I get an error code. That is one thing that I did get. That when it was crashing before because of the power supply, like I said, I didn't get error codes. It just went boom and it was off. This time it told me why. This time it let me know. So it was actually a BSOD. So there's the difference, I guess. I can be thankful it gave me something. I tried the beta test realm for the upcoming patch for this game. And they have a new thing coming out called Cataclysm, I think it's called. Um, and you download the beta test realm and you go on, you can try it out. I'm sure you know how that works. You try it out before the release and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, finally, new content. I get to try it out. Cool. And I downloaded it, logged in, and apparently the new content is only playable at certain times during the day. And I logged in at the wrong time. They also put your name all over the screen while you're playing so that you can't stream it or make any recorded footage, which is kind of understandable. I mean, um, they don't want everyone seeing the beta. Although, ooh, that was a skip. Why is it skipping now? That's not good. Hmm. Never skipped before. I think Brian cursed me by talking about his broken CPU. Let me get out into the actual playfield and see. See how it goes. This has basically just become a crash test now. I do see that my CPU is running at 90%, which is not normal. OBS is now taking 33%, and Anthem is taking 52%. Interesting. It launches in August. You know, I stuck around with WoW for so long waiting for them to introduce vanilla. I played WoW for, I don't know, 9 years? 9 or 10, something like that. But a long time. There's only been one other game I stuck to that long, and it was EverQuest. Ooh, there is... Okay, maybe not. It was EverQuest. But I stuck around for so long waiting for vanilla WoW, and it never came. And I eventually just got bored of doing the same content over and over again and quit playing. My brother was... He wasn't as into it in the beginning as I was. Oh, it's skipping. This game runs super smooth without OBS. I got a setting wrong in there or something. Because the first time I streamed this game, it ran super smooth too. He wasn't as big into it in the beginning, but then he got bigger into it than me later on. And he played for a good 2 years after I quit. And he kept asking me if I was going to play again, and I'm just like, there's nothing to do in that game anymore. But you know, I get that itch once in a while where I play a game like this, let's say, for a few weeks, and then run out of stuff to do in this, and I'm like, well, maybe I should play WoW again. Yeah, I think I quit, I got a beta invite to the one where you could play. Oh god, I don't even remember the names anymore. The Illidan was one of them. What are they called again? Let me see if there's a setting that we can change. Oh shit, I'm getting shot at. I gotta go somewhere else. Anyways, the beta for the expansion that came out just after MLP. That's what I played last. And then I quit playing. Where you can make the guys with the horns. Goodness. I cannot believe I can't remember that. I used to be in a top guild killing the raid bosses, the high raid bosses, and on the... Get the fuck out of here. Why is this guy bothering me? Now I can't even remember what they're called. Are they Illidari? No. I don't know. Anyways, so where you can make the new characters, those. I was in love with the Pandarin, whatever character that I had. I was a monk, tank for my guild, and that was a lot of fun. I hadn't. Oh yeah, the expansion. Yes, Legion. I played the beta for that, and I wasn't too into it, so I just kind of quit at that time. I was like, ugh, more of the same. The grind in the beta just seemed... There you go, Demon Hunters. The grind just seemed the same as the previous ones, so I just kind of quit. But I did love the panda. I did love playing the monk. And like I said, I thought about starting up the game, but the problem with starting up again is I got a couple expansions to catch up on, which means money, and I'm not gonna go and spend money on a game that I may only play for a week and then get bored again. But I played since vanilla. I used to play. I played since day one, and I made a gnome warlock, and I raided with an Australian guild. Was it bad? Yeah. I raided with an Australian guild, which was tough because I had never played a game where I had to be up all night. And it was a very strict guild. But I was like, wow, this is like end game content. I'm like, because in EverQuest it was more just hanging out with a couple friends and not really doing anything end game. And I did that for like 8 years and never actually realized that there was so much more game out there to play in EverQuest. I was just happy playing. But with WoW, I just kind of was like, okay, I gotta see what, what's there to play. Everything else. And so I joined that guild because it was really the only guild at the time accepting more people. And I think I raided from 2 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. my time. And it was every other night. It was tough, but it was fun. They were a lot of fun. No, I do have a couple dropped frames though, probably because of the game. I'm gonna go somewhere and adjust these video properties. Are you still there? Let me see what I can adjust here. I think that's the only thing I've changed. It says I'm still live, so I don't know. It definitely didn't crash. Oh. Yeah, I had a dropped frame. I have 147 dropped frames, and I was not dropping frames before, so I don't know what the hell is. I don't think I'm on Grandmaster mode. I should switch to Grandmaster at least. Get some items. If I'm gonna be out here. Turn some settings down here. I'll make it easier for the computer. Ugh. Of course. What the hell? Oh, you know what? I know why it's skipping. I know why. Because to do this test, I went in and I reset the overclock. So it's not 5 gigahertz anymore, it's 3.6. That's why it's skipping. And that's why it's using more CPU. Fantasy Star Online 2. That's another game. I completely forgot about Fantasy Star Online. I don't know how. I played that for a while on the Dreamcast. Man, that game was great. I loved that game. I probably played that game for about, I don't know, a year and a half? A year? Something like that. I have a bad memory. I just kind of get lost in the game and I have no idea how long I played. But I do know that I was in the high-end content in that game too. And that game was just awesome. I got the keyboard for the Dreamcast. I was probably on it way too much. On dial-up. That was really the only thing I used my Dreamcast for was that, and I think I played Sonic when it came out, and then the chat rooms. That was it. I saw that you could make a server or go online with a server through RetroArch and play Phantasy Star online again. But I don't know how to do that. I never got into it that much. I would love to, but I would love to find a group of guys or girls, doesn't matter, who want to play Phantasy Star Online. I'd like to play that again. It's actually not bad. I can equip it as my off weapon. And then, like I said, I played in the vanilla WoW, so everyone who played vanilla WoW is nostalgic for it, and they want the vanilla WoW back. I hope they don't corrupt it with all their ideas. You know, just bring it back the way it was. And then I would probably play again.
Let's get this javelin ready to go.
That would be cool. If you could do that. I'd like to check that out. Maybe I'll take some time and work that out tomorrow. See if I can't get online. Yep, you said it to me already? Yep. Thank you. Mm. There's definitely skip frames going on. I got notifications in the OBS software. Well, one good thing about this game, I will say, is that if you do crash while you're playing, it gives you your loot still. It keeps track of your loot as you pick it up. So, because usually it doesn't distribute the loot to you until after the mission or whatever you're doing is over and you're back at the fort. But if you crash during, then it'll give it to you in like a message. By the way, I've had WoW send me like some gold in the mail and some items if I crashed in the middle of a dungeon or something. About the same way.
There's a star camp close by. The force issued a call to remove it.
What? Oh. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here.
There, scars. We
Oh.
need to push them out.
Oh shit.
One more to go.
Get my ass kicked. Yeah, I think the drop. Oh no, that's right. The overclock. I might have to check my settings in OBS though as well.
That's done. Nice work. The scars will pose a threat if we don't clear the area.
Sorry, I get too caught up in the game. That's why I'd be a terrible Twitch streamer. I don't know how they do it. Alright, so I'm gonna try a couple different things here. Let's see how they go. I did that on my arcade. I did that remove artwork thing that's not being used. I was always afraid to do it before, but I just made a backup and it seemed to work for the most part. It seemed to remove like videos that I wasn't using. It freed up 100 gigabytes. But then I looked through the artwork and it did not get rid of doubles. Like, I don't know how that thing works, but where did my mouse go? Oh my goodness, come on. There's no mouse on the screen. There we go. I mean, it definitely had to have deleted some stuff because it freed up the space, but I just don't know what it deleted. I mean, I had videos in the folder for system like Watara Supervision, for example. Excuse me. And I figured, okay, it's deleting things that aren't being used by Lunchbox right now, but those were still there afterwards. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I read on the thing. But like I said, there were videos for systems that I don't even have on the machine anymore. Is it still in the maybe the database for my particular Launchbox? Because I did have it in the machine, but then I took it out because they sucked. But does it keep track of that still? Trying to bog your night down with a bunch of rocket launcher, or not rocket, Launchbox questions, but they were game videos. They were actually videos for the games. Let's see if I can get into my arcade. Give it a second. Ugh. Now it's giving me issues about getting into my network share. It's beautiful. There we go. Okay. So I have videos here. So I got A lot of these systems I do have, but like, let's say WoW Action Max, I don't think I ever had that on my arcade. But I had the videos in the folder, and I did not erase them. They're still there. And then there's the supervision videos. And these systems are not there. They're not hidden or anything. And then it's like, okay, so that's videos, and that happened for a bunch of them. Atari ST, I don't have that on there. Let's see, images. And then you got, like this. Oh, it doesn't know what a double. Okay, okay, I get what you're saying. Gotcha. But it kind of should. I mean, this. I think this is the EmuMovies or EmuMovies file, and then is this Launchbox, or does it rename the EmuMovies files too when it downloads them? So meaning this is like one is the Launchbox database and one is the EmuMovies one. If that's the case, then I can understand it wouldn't know what a double is, but I mean it should still. I would think it works off its own naming process. Like this literally has the same name as this, just the number's different. So I just figured it would check for that. Not that it matters. I've already gone through my whole arcade the past 4 days and fixed all the wheels up and stuff, but I was hoping to dump the wheels that I wasn't using. I was hoping that's what it would do. Would be get rid of the wheels that I was not using. Because I love Lunchbox, and I really have nothing bad to say about it except for that one thing, and it's always the thing that bugs me is that the games, um, if they have multiple wheels in the folder, you can't set a default wheel, or it doesn't have like a default wheel. It'll go through them randomly. Like you go in the wheel one time into the system one time, and it has one wheel for this game, and then you go in a separate time and it has this wheel for this game, and the and okay, when I first set up Launchbox, I think I just downloaded all the media onto my arcade. I was just like, wow, that's a lot of things you can get. I'll get it from Launchbox and I'll get it from EmuMovies, and I just got everything. So I got multiples of wheels and blah blah blah, and then I started adding my custom systems like the Doom hacks, the Nintendo hacks, and I don't know the SNES CD games, the MSU1 games. I started adding those in, and a lot were missing wheels, so I started making my own wheels, and I started adding in my own stuff, and then I realized that happens, that it switches between the wheels if you have multiple wheels for the same game. And I was like, well, he just put out this thing where it deletes doubles, so maybe I'll try that. But I was always afraid to, because I was afraid it would just erase the ones that I already did. And yes, I could back them up like I did, but then I'd have to go through all the wheels and find out which ones it erased that it shouldn't have and all that. I wasn't quite sure how the whole thing worked. But after I had fixed everything, I was just like, screw it. I'll back up the whole Launchbox install. If it screws anything up, I'll just move it back over and have it again. It didn't quite work the way I thought it did. What is this? Have you seen this? By the way, Pegasus. I'm not thinking about switching to this, but I just saw some people talking about it, about how it's on the road to becoming the best one out, the best front end out there. This is very basic, but I will say that I installed the Pegasus front end and opened it up and didn't have to do a thing. I have a custom. Custom's a weird word to use, but it's the only one I can think of right now. A custom folder for my Steam games. I don't keep them in the default folder on the C drive. I keep them on the other drive because it's a high-speed gaming drive and it's 8 terabytes. I don't want to use the space on my main drive. We're in the database anymore. Okay, that's weird then that it didn't do it. Maybe I'll bring that up to Jason too. But long story short, I started the program and all my Steam games were already in there. It's a nice looking front end for a PC, I would say. You're gonna play off of a PC, but I just couldn't see it in a cabinet, and I really couldn't see it in a living room. I don't know what it's for. Like, it's hard to nail down exactly what they're making it for. It doesn't have an arcade cabinet look, and it's definitely not. I don't think it's user friendly enough for like a living room or like a couch machine or something, but it's not bad looking. And I like the fact that as soon as I started it up, I didn't have to do anything. All my Steam games were already in it, and they start up. I mean, they work. There's no programming involved. There's no finding anything. I don't know how I found my Steam folder, but it did. But you know, it reminds me a lot of the old XBMC kind of, and I really didn't like that. And I always felt that looked kind of silly. It didn't look right on a television. It didn't look right on the Xbox. It didn't have a place. And then when they fixed it to Kodi, it was much better. But I just got it and messed around with it a bit. I'll probably never do anything with that Pegasus thing. I was like, oh hey, I could set this up on my computer with all my ROMs and have a front end on my PC to use where I can access everything. But it's too much trouble. I'm already doing stuff with Launchbox and the main drawback for it is it looks like, I haven't looked too much into it, but it looks like you have to do everything with text files. And that's the way the Pi is, if I'm correct. The Raspberry Pi does the same thing. You have to have your game lists with text files, and everything's handled that way. And that's the reason I don't use a Pi. I might play a PlayStation 1 game. I'll be right back. Yeah, you know, I like being. I like the hands-on feel of Launchbox. I like the fact that you don't really have to mess with that side of it at all. You know, you don't have to do the text files or anything. I hope this works. Didn't didn't make the badoop noise. There it goes. That's weird. Okay. Any suggestions? I was thinking about playing a PS1 game. Oh God. All right. I thought I configured it already. Could be. Is it editing or what? Ah, come on. Really? Yeah, I agree, and that's how I was with Hyperspin. I did not want to I didn't want to make that change, and finally did. I'm glad I did. Okay, what's going on? Nothing wants to work tonight. I swear, this is not my night. Maybe here. Okay, it made the ding noise. Still don't want to work though. I'm gonna freaking cry here. Arg. And you know it's a cheap controller, but it worked a week ago. It was working, and now it made the noise when I plugged it in. No problem. But it just don't want to work now. Because I'm streaming. That's why. Okay. Nothing there. Wow. Crazy. This is insane. Nothing. I was literally just playing A week ago, I was just playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze with that controller. And it's making the noise when I unplug it too. It's like dig-a-doom. It's it's teasing me. Hmm. Okay. Let's try something else here. That's why I have 3 fucking computers in this room. Because they get moody. I was waiting to unplug it and have it show up in the thing. Wishful thinking? I don't know. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do this instead. Yeah, I have, I think PS1, I have it hooked up to, RetroArch on the arcade, which is what I'm switching to now. But this was on the PC, so I wasn't going to mess with that for here. Try option 2. Alright, so now I get to watch as my foreplay doesn't work. And I can't use the arcade control. Okay, so this should work. I'm waiting for the crash screen when I go to load game. Try again here. I have the analog controller from PS2 plugged in, so I don't know if it's gonna. If it's gonna work. Sweet baby. Okay, so that didn't work. I need the PlayStation 1 controller, which is in the other room, so I'm not going to do that. See, basically my computer decides what game I'm going to play on any given day. This is how it works. I don't get to choose the games.
Press the fire button to fire.
I did stream a lot of Silent Hill 2 before, but then all that shit happened last year and never went back to it. Let's see how this goes. Oh my goodness, it works. Only problem is the damn arcade's across the room. I turned down the stream sound for the game. I didn't want any conflict.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all Greece. After 10 years of suffering,
I have never played through this game,
it will finally come to an end.
but I have played the first level 50 times. I don't know if you've ever had one of those games where you're just like, you want to play through the game, but every time you sit down to play, you just don't have time for it. Or you think of something else. I swear I played this first level like 50 times already. I've killed that stupid snake more than I'd like to admit. I played, which one was it? Yeah, it was on the PS3. I don't remember much about it, because I never finished it, but I did get pretty darn far. The problem is I have kids here, and I don't know if you have kids, but there's a lot in there that they don't need to see, like press square, square, triangle over and over again to have sex, things like that. And I realize you don't have to do those parts, but I am also a man and curious about those parts. I don't want to skip them. So, but no, the PS3 one was pretty good. I played through most of it. I never got to finish it, but I don't think it was. I'm trying to think, and I don't know that it was. I think it was the remaster or something. I think it was Ghost of Sparta. I think they put that on PS3 because I don't think it was God of War 3. I think they had like a 2-pack of the 2 games that came out on PSP. Come on. You know. Probably some secret to beating him faster that I just have not learned yet. This sucks because I can barely see the screen from where I'm sitting. It's across the room. Oh my god. God of War? Yeah, I played it. Couldn't pass the rafters. Oh my goodness. I'm old, you know. This is hard for me to see. Wait, where do I have to go? I forget. I thought it was out.
Stay away! Stay away from me!
Okay. Oh my gosh, it's so dark. It's a lot brighter on that screen. I wish there wasn't a delay. But you're getting the, it looks like you're getting, on your end, some kind of, weird screen issue with the scan lines. Because I use scan lines on the PS2. You know, I don't know why I picked this. I should have played something like Katamari Damacy or something. Something brighter. It was way too hard to see. Oh, next to them. I think that's the wrong way. So you have to look where I'm at on this other screen, because I can actually see on this other screen. No, that was the right way. Ah, that was it. What's up? Ah. Oh, great. Oh, my God. One where it actually mattered. Okay, let's try this again. Why are they gonna do this to me? This is the worst. Okay. No. Alright. Oh my God. No! No! That is not funny, sir. Okay.
You! Visions, they were real! The gods came to me, told me that a champion would come and rescue us from the Hydra. But you're too late! We're pinned down! These creatures, they came from nowhere. Ships are all destroyed, all hope is lost, Spartan, even for you.
Okay, so now that I know it works, I'm gonna play something else. I still, by the way, my channel for YouTube is still demonetized. It's been almost 3 months that my channel has been under review. I don't know if you were here when I talked about it before, but yeah, they decided to demonetize my whole channel. I'm just getting banned everywhere. Trials of Mana for what? PC? Or is it on PS2? Is it a PS2 ROM they made? Still getting dropped frames too. Oh. Oh. I think I have Secret of Mana 2 translated, but it's an official translation. I do think I have it on here somewhere, but well, it's not here. Yeah, I thought I had one. Maybe it's in the Super Nintendo folder. Oh, it might be with my Super Famicom games. I don't know if it's translated though, but I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I don't think so. Ow! That was one. But that was part 3. This is part 3. Is it wrong? Is this actually part 2? I haven't played that. Let me see if this is actually translated. I doubt it is. It's kind of surprising to me that... Okay, so 3. Okay. It's kind of surprising to me that I don't have one of the translated versions, because Secret of Mana was like one of my favorite games as a kid. It's definitely not translated. Answered my question within seconds. I'll have to get that, and then I'll just replace. So then, is there another one out there? Another Japanese one? Or is Secret of Evermore Part 2 in Japan? Or is it not even part of the same series and I'm just thinking it is? Okay, yeah. This game right here, Shadowrun, man, I played the crap out of this when I was a kid. This game is fantastic, and there's always a war between what's better, the Genesis version or the Super Nintendo version, but I tried the Genesis version when I was a kid too, and it wasn't as good for me. Like, it depends on what you grew up with, but this game was excellent. For somebody who loves like role-playing and tabletop games and stuff, this was one of the games responsible for getting me into like D&D and stuff like that. Final Fantasy titles. Of course, Final Fantasy had to be involved with the naming problems. Well, to be honest, the Genesis version of Shadowrun, I played the Super Nintendo version first, and I guess I went into the Genesis one expecting the same. It does look like it has depth, as far as the game is concerned, and conversing with NPCs and stuff like that. But it just didn't have it right away, I guess, and I went in expecting it to be like in the Super Nintendo version, they throw you right in there. You know, you come out of the morgue and you're already in the heat of things when you step outside. but I guess I can't say that because the Genesis version you kind of are too. You already have a weapon and stuff. Maybe it's just the graphics. I was so used to seeing the Shadowrun on the Super Nintendo, and to try to play it on a different system with the completely different graphics like that kind of threw me off. And plus, I was a bit confused as to where to go in the beginning, so I started shooting civilians and then getting killed by the security guys, and it was a mess. Maybe I didn't give it enough chance. Maybe that's the problem. But I was raised on Nintendo and Super Nintendo. My friend had a Genesis and a TurboGrafx 16. I would go to his house and play sometimes. But you know, people, it's difficult to sit and play. For me, anyways, it's difficult to sit and play like a retro game that is a completely different style than what you grew up with. You know, I feel more comfortable with a Super Nintendo game. Like, if I get the translated Secret of Mana game, I would play that because it's the graphics that I'm used to. But to sit down and play a Genesis game with that graphical style, because you can't deny that the Genesis and Super Nintendo, regardless of how close their specs may have been, they had the unique graphical style to each one. They were totally different. Nintendo was always more cartoony, more soft. The images were more soft. The music was always a little bit more upbeat, unless you're talking like Shadowrun or something. But Genesis has that hard kind of techno-y music to all their games, and it's more feels like a more, I don't know, like the teenagers would have the Genesis and the 10-year-olds would have the Nintendo. And that's not a knock on Nintendo at all, because I had the Nintendo and I had the Super Nintendo. It's just the feeling you get, that different type of nostalgia feeling. And it's hard for me to pick up a Genesis game, especially when I have to compare it to a Nintendo game and accept it for what it is. It's kind of mean, but it is what it is. Yeah, I have them now. You know, so it's no longer about nostalgia. It's more about collecting and more about hoarding games, I guess. That's what it comes down to. I have them now, and my Super Nintendo library, I have like 90 games for it. And then my NES library, I have like 200 games for it. And my Genesis library, I have like 20 games. So it's just about what you were raised. Now, I didn't get all the Genesis games I want. Like, there's still a couple, like, I think it's called Temple of the Sun, or something like that for D&D. And then I still got to get Toe Jam and Earl, because that I played when I was a kid. Yeah, Genesis was pretty good for sports games. I remember playing NBA Live on the Genesis, but whenever we would play Super Nintendo, it was always breaking out Mario Kart. Yeah, it was never like, let's play a sports game on the Super Nintendo. It just seemed a lot. The sports games, like the voices sounded better on the Genesis. The fact that it had those, you know, Super Nintendo had the softer graphics, and Genesis had those hard-lined graphics, and the sports games seemed to always play better on there. I didn't really play football games, but when I was in my early 20s, I think it was like 1920s, something like that, I played Tecmo Super Bowl on the PS1. That was probably the first football game I played on a game system. I never really gave him a chance before that. And that was because a bunch of my friends, probably like 10 guys, I don't remember, something like that, got together and we said, hey, this game is pretty awesome. Midnight Resistance? Yeah, that has some badass music. We got together and decided to do a full draft and everything and play out a full season. We wound up doing that for like 3 years in a row. And the year that I won was the last year we did it. There was a lot of upset people that year. I gotta plug in my Genesis controller. Wasn't there a Wayne Gretzky one where you could fight each other? Or did they start introducing the ability to fight each other later on in all of them? I haven't played this on the Genesis. I think I played just the arcade version. Yeah. I just remember watching Swingers and seeing them. I did play an hockey game long while back, but I don't remember which one it was. But it was fun. I mean, I like hockey games. I just when people come over to play video games, it's not really at the top of my list, so I don't suggest it. But if someone did suggest one, I'd be like, yeah, why not? You know, I don't mind those. Mostly though, I enjoy the basketball ones. Really, so does Tecmo Super Bowl 3 for the Super Nintendo. I think it was. There's still people out there, and the Tecmo on the Tecmo Super Bowl on the regular Nintendo. There's people out there who update the rosters. It's crazy how faithful these people are to these games. All right, come on. Oh, okay. Why not? Let's try that again. Now that I played in the arcade, and that one's cool. So hit the ice. Oh God! Is it supposed to keep shooting all the time? Like I said, I never played on the Genesis one. I don't know if it's a toggle. Oh, god, it's almost like what's the benefit to turning off the bullets? I mean, why would you turn them off? Do I have to choose? Talk about a Contra ripoff. Oh. Wow. Was there limited ammunition? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh well, my goodness. The hitbox in this game is insane. Ah, that one was my fault. And you cannot die. Yeah, you can. Okay, so maybe a game I'm not seriously bad at. I'm gonna try a different gun. Yeah, I assumed because of Contra that the spread gun was the way to go. Wow, this game's tough. There's more stuff coming at you than Contra. And the way you have to duck, it's kind of terrible. Why can't it? I can't. I don't know if there's something wrong with the controls or what, but I can't duck and shoot. I can duck and shoot, but I can't duck and shoot straight. Terminator on the Sega CD. That game has amazing music and is stupid hard. Oh, why not? Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. problem is when I got the Xbox 360 controller on, it registers as the first controller in RetroArch, so I gotta change to the Genesis controller when I go into a game. Here, I'll turn it up here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. A little bit. Just trying to avoid feedback. Let me know if it's giving like feedback or if it's bothersome. Or if you can even hear it. I feel like I should have changed something in options. Like it's on difficulty level death by default. Even the guy looks hesitant. Okay, so jump and shoot. It'd be nice if there was like a damage indicator. And the guys like they blink or something. What the hell is it? Oh my goodness. The graphics are cool. Why is it shooting down? Because I'm walking down the steps it shoots down. Oh my goodness. Is it, you know, this kind of seems like Castlevania with a gun. Oh my god. I am taking so much damage, like. It is pretty cool music. I don't know what that is. Ah, I knew it was a gun. Oh. What is this thing? What is that? I don't get the shooting. It's like sometimes it shoots really fast, and sometimes it shoots slow. Oh my god. See? Did I pick up something for troubleshooting? I think I did. What reason would there ever be for one guy to take on the whole damn Terminator army? And why no grenades? Oh! You son of a bitch. I feel that I could do well in this game with enough practice. That other game was just a lot of cosmo. I was screwed the moment I started that game. Turn around, man. I jumped! Jump, Jump. Jump. Oh, did I pick up grenade? Oh, hey, look at that. Okay. I have 11 more? I don't even know if I'm going the right way. This is like probably one of the most non-linear games ever. Okay, jump button. Ah. Uncharted territory. I am digging his music though. It's very 80s. It does have sort of a Terminator feel. Kind of. I don't know. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. And the grenade went through it. Oh come on. How does that even work? Come on. Ooh. I don't think I use triple buffering. I'm pretty sure I have VSync on in RetroArch. I think. I don't remember. I set these up like. Oh my god. It's like every other game, you know, like, there's risk. You're gonna die. Like. How do I. Oh my gosh! No. Alright, done with that game. No continue. That was level 1, huh? But yeah, I think I use VSync. It all depends on the emulator too. But for the most part, I do use VSync. I have a I use a TV in my arcade, so a lot of times it kind of requires that the VSync, or it looks like crap. Do. You know, like I was saying earlier, Monkus, my machines decide what game I'm gonna play that night because oh, you actually linked it. Aha. Cool. it's the same game? Because if it is, I can just swap it for the one I have. Where is... What I was saying, I went to play A Boy and His Blob on NES the other day, and it wouldn't start. For the longest time, I'm like, oh, I want to play that game again. I want to beat that game finally, and it just would not start. So I tried a bunch of different games, and finally, and they all worked. So finally, I figured out that the problem was the one game I wanted to play, Boy and His Blob, was a corrupt ROM file, so I had to replace it. The freaking game that I picked that I wanted to play, had I picked any other game, that would have been the corrupted one. But it's the one that I picked, I guess. So I wound up playing Castlevania 2 all the way through. My brother and I used to rent that game when we would visit my grandmother in Missouri, and she had a Nintendo there. And every time we went there, we'd rent that game, and we would rent it the whole time we were there, and just play that. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can't swap it for that then, and just rename it so that I actually have it. Because what do I need a Japanese one for? I'm not gonna play that. So, what system did I have it on? I think I had it on Super Famicom. And that is RetroArch. What was the name of it? I can bring this up to... Okay, so there it is. Alright. I'm gonna swap it and see how that goes. Really? Do you know what it's called? I might have it. I actually have a ton of the Castlevania 1, 2, and 3 ROM hacks. I think there's more than this. They're just a different name or further down the road or something, but... Is one of these two? Dishonor Thy Father or Vengeance on Hell? This is one I've been wanting to play. Because it looks like a total do-over of the game. It looks pretty cool. I know anytime they really, this one looks silly. Anytime they redo these, the first thing they do is they get rid of that It's a Horrible Night to Have a Curse pop-up thing. It's so annoying. It happens every 5 minutes. But I'm gonna check this out now. So I swapped it out for what you sent me here. Yeah, there you go. It's translated now. Thank you, sir. Have to pop that one in. Meanwhile, I'm gonna take off because I'm getting sleepy, and the whole computer crashing again thing is got me a little disturbed. But it seems to have been fine now. I think it was just a fluke. So hopefully it doesn't give me any more issues. I'll have to run my video program tomorrow, my video editing software tomorrow, and render something and see what happens if it crashes. Then I'll know. Meanwhile, I appreciate you hanging out with me. And I'll stream again soon. A couple days probably. I'll be back on, hopefully this time, to actually work on the fades. Or work on something. Something launch boxes. See you, man. And Ladagailery 41. I hope I said that right. You have a good night too.